What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Defend Your Units. I'm Johnny K. Picks, and alongside me is free UFC Bet Picks, and we are here to break down this amazing UFC Atlanta card. All 13 fights, knock on wood, hopefully they stay there. How's it going, man? And are you looking forward to this card?
Yeah, doing well. Really looking forward to this card. We were just chatting about it. We got a badass June full of arena fight cards, lots of big matchups. And I've been chilling at the pool all day drinking Pacifica, so I'm feeling good.
Man, I told you I was already jealous, and I'll say it again. I was jealous. I should have been doing that. It's like 90 degrees over here. It's crazy. Like this cold beer, it like hits the spot after work.
I'm out of beer, but that means I'm gonna hold it together through this whole show. So
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you can do it. I need beer if I want to do a show. So
it's probably a good thing. I'll be more coherent this whole time now.
true, but that's not fun. You gotta be incoherent and then just go crazy and start laughing and at people and calling fighters trash, all that. It's all fun stuff like that. But
last it's been a little while.
yeah,
So
I think
good to be back.
the last one was like a pay-per-view in May when we did. I can't remember if that was the one.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it last night, and I was because we had a really good. Oh, we hit both of our parlays.
Yeah.
We hit the easy money and the beer money, so we slaughtered. Let's run it back.
That's right. That's what we got to do. But all right, let's get into it. We'll go through the chat real quick, say hi to everybody who's here, and then we got 13 fights, so we got to get started. I know some of them can be a little quicker than the others, but there are at least 3 or 4 of them that we can probably talk for 30 minutes on each one of them because I just flipped a coin. So we got Elijah on in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming out as always. He likes Usman decision plus 550. Not a bad bet. If you like Usman, I like it. I think that's how he wins if he does win. We got Saba in here. What's up, Saba? Appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us late at night as always. Daz, what's up, Daz? Hoping Usman is healthy and 80% of old Usman. I think he's like 70. What about you? What percentage do you think Usman is right now of prime Usman? I think he's 70%.
I think probably 70%, but I think he was probably the same 70% against Hamzat and looked pretty good.
True.
So I think about 70. I think you're right.
Okay, 70 to 80%. That's probably on par.
I was watching some training footage of him, and he was looking a little ginger on his legs, wearing a knee brace, and
he's got no knees, man.
Yeah, I mean he walks on the grass. He doesn't walk on the sidewalk. He walks on the grass next to the sidewalk. That's it's well documented those knee issues.
Yeah, well, I mean we'll get there. We're jumping ahead a little bit, but we'll get there. What's up, Derek? What's up, MMA fam? Ready for the 3rd week in a row? A profit. Let's go. We got McMuffin. What's up, McMuffin? Appreciate you coming out. Slick Montana. What's up, Slick? Here we are. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go indeed. JDM. What's up, JK? Defend your units. Let's go. Ryan Jordan. Tasty looking fight night we got here. Let's go, Ricky. Defend your units. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I hope everyone did well. Last card plus 6.5. There you go. Yeah, I think I won I think I won about a unit and a half, and I hit that triple money or triple parlay, triple plate par, whatever I call it. Some parlay I hit. It was pretty good. Did you do well last card too?
I lost my ass. I crushed it. We both crushed the picks. We were the top experts of the week. We crushed our picks. But I thought I was real smart. And I tied way too much stuff to the Merab fight to start round 5. It was the same odds as Merab. I thought there's no chance Merab's going to finish him. I thought really no chance that Sean was going to knock him out either. Mm-hmm. But I thought that Sean was a little more live than either guy getting a finish was. Yeah. So instead of tying Merab to stuff, I tied fight to start round 5 and stuff. Other than that, like I think I would have swept the entire card. I had Pfeiffer by decision. So still hurting. I lost 13.3 units, which for some folks that's a ton. We bet like 20 units a card. Like we bet quite a bit. So yeah, it might not be quite as bad as it sounds, but definitely lost my ass.
Yeah, there was one card, it wasn't 107. It was the one before that. I can't remember what it was. I lost every bet. Like, I think out of all of my plays, like legs included, I think I hit one of them, and I lost like everything. And I was like, like whatever. It
I'm just
happens.
kicking myself because it was
I
such
swear, every
a
time I ask you how well you did when you're on the show, you're like, "Well, I lost my ass. Thanks for bringing it up again."
That is funny, yeah. Like last time I was on, I had a terrible week right before we did the show, and but I think you're good luck. So excited
There
to
we go. We'll bring it
turn it
back.
around.
We'll get some money, get the
Yeah.
beer money parlay going, and yeah. So I think we got everybody in there. Yep. All right. So let's go to the first fight. We got Vanessa Demopoulos versus Jamie Lynn Horth. Who do you like here?
Horth's not great, but I think she's definitely going to get it done here. Vanessa's on super short notice. Horth was supposed to fight um, Bleda, Teresa Bleda.
Yeah.
Horth is just so big here. She's got a 5-inch height advantage, about a 6.5-inch reach advantage. And if you're tall, 5 inches is a big height discrepancy. For these short ladies, 5 inches is gigantic. I mean, Horth is going to be like towering over.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and Vanessa's got more volume on the feet. If there was a world where she was able to not get cage controlled and not get taken down, she might outpoint Horth on the feet. We know that Vanessa is always live to win a sketchy split decision. She's got dirt on the judges. We know this, but I think Horth is just way too big, way too strong. She's going to make it look pretty easy. We saw Horth take Miranda Maverick's back in her last fight, right? She had her in some rear naked choke trouble. And Vanessa's got good jiu-jitsu, of course, but she's nowhere near as strong as Maverick. So, Horth had her moments against Miranda, who's now like the co-main event on this card, where Horth is the opening fight. So I think Horth is pretty safe. I honestly thought the wides were going to be a little crazier. I thought she might be like minus 1,200 or something. At minus 530, I actually think she's pretty safe to parlay gently.
Yeah.
Again, Vanessa on short notice. I mean, the deck is really stacked against her here.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I think Jamie gets this one done. I mean, like you said, both girls aren't great. Let's put that out there right now. But big height and reach discrepancy. After Vanessa's last performance, you can tell that she can get taken down very easily and held for the whole round. And I'm not saying Horth is some kind of amazing wrestler like who was it? Alan Carr. But she can definitely get her down if she wants to. And on the feet, I mean, Vanessa's like durable and she's tough, but she's going to get hit a lot, and she always gets hit a lot. And I just don't see how Vanessa wins unless it's some kind of fluky armbar again. Like, that's about it. Like, she's taking this fight on short notice, up a weight class too at 125, which is why Jamie's going to be crazy bigger. Yeah, this is just all signs are pointing Jamie here, and the minus 550, whatever you see a money line. I don't hate it. Like, I know it's a low level women's MMA fight, but I think there's a good reason for it. So overs are, I think the overs are safe too. Jamie Lynn's not the super craziest, dangerous fighter in the world. I think she wins by decision, probably a pretty clear one. So maybe when the minus 3.5 comes out, you can see what that's at. Maybe that cuts it in half. But if you're looking for something, I mean, at this point, the over 2.5 is minus 395, so it's a little bit better than the money line. So I think that's how to play it right now. I don't know the props yet, though, but
I like where he heads out with the minus 3.5. I was thinking the same thing, maybe even like the minus 7.5, because I really don't see how Vanessa wins around here.
Yeah,
you always want to be careful.
Just with the judges, she's been known to get some rounds when she shouldn't. So I'm a little worried about that, but we'll see what it comes out as. If it's like minus 175 or something crazy, maybe even closer to plus money, who knows?
Yeah. You always want to be careful fading a can with a can, right? You don't want to get too heavy on Horth just because of, having a low opinion on Vanessa, right? But I think she's pretty safe here. Horth has gone to decision in all 4 of her UFC fights. And besides the Jacqueline Amorim fight where she was grabbing Vanessa's glove, if it wasn't for that, or if we just ignore that, Vanessa's gone to decision in her last 6 UFC fights. So it's like 10 combined besides the Amorim fight. So I do think some overs are safe here, but I don't think I'll touch any overs because of that big size discrepancy and the short notice.
True.
Like, if Horth was ever going to get a finish, this might be the one.
True. Yeah, and all UFC fights that Horth has fought, I mean, unanimous decision, split, and unanimous. So, I mean, she's fighting, I mean, okay fighters. she's beating the ones she should, and she probably lost the ones she should. So this one, I think she should win, though.
I would agree. And going to a split with Veronica Hardy,
that's a good look.
Is decent. Yeah.
What was the other split?
I
just saw it.
She won a split over Ivana Petrovic.
Okay.
Who's awful.
Yeah.
And so that's not a great look. And then she beat Haley Cowan. I'm pretty sure Haley was a pretty big favorite there.
Mm-hmm.
But
and the Miranda fight wasn't. It was competitive. Yeah, I think Miranda won, but
yeah, I think it was like round 2 where she had Miranda's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Horth is pretty darn safe here for sure.
I agree.
And Blade is a monster. Blade is a big, dangerous, strong fighter. You know, she's getting a cupcake compared to that.
Very true. Yeah, Mr. Nice Guy in here. What's up, man? Ready for some defend your units. What's up, everyone? Appreciate you coming out as always, my man. Let's see. Thanks to UFC representatives to give me an early toilet break to empty the stomach for this fight. Okay, Saba, there you go. Slick likes by sub or decision for Horth. I like that too. I'm not touching this fight. Might be Atlanta, but still Vegas judges who favor the stripper like in previous fights. I don't know personally. I've only heard that Atlanta has a lot of strip clubs as well.
I was going to say, you're talking about Magic City here. You know, they might have more. They got chicks hanging from the rafters out there. So
yep. She a robbery queen. Thanks to the judges. I got Horth by decision. Yeah, I'm way too vanilla to bet this fight. There you go. All right, next fight here is going to be an interesting one. Phil Rowe versus Ange Lusa. I'll go ahead and start this one. I'm going to end up going with Lusa. I was thinking about this one a little bit more, but then I keep thinking more and more like Ange Lusa is a beast. He's a tank. He's not very dangerous as you would think he would be. If you look at him, you would think he's a monster and he like destroys everybody, but he doesn't. But he is super durable, and I like his cardio. With Phil Rowe, though, on the other hand, he's dangerous early, and with decent striking, he's got decent grappling. You know, his takedown defense isn't the greatest though, but he can work himself back up. He's very tall and long. But he slows down as the fight goes on. He can be held up against the cage. And I think that like fits right into Lusa's like strategy here. I think he can hold him up against the cage for a little bit early. I think he can get some takedowns maybe if he shoots. And he's durable on the feet. If he gets cracked, I think he'll be okay. I think the longer the fight goes, I think this only favors Lusa. So I'm going to go with Lusa. Maybe you can, if you want to, live bet if Lusa loses the first round. That could be a good spot. But I think as the fight goes on, Phil's going to start slowing down a little bit like he normally does. He doesn't really win decisions. I think he's lost every decision he went to. He's lost 4. He's just he won most of his by finish, and Ange Lusa has never been finished. So I'm going to stick with that trend here. I know it's a close line, but give me Lusa to win by decision, probably 29-28. It could even be a split, but it just depends what happens in round 2, I think. So what do you think about this one?
You know, when I was breaking down this fight, doing my write up and watching tape and stuff, I was thinking, I might go with Lusa as a dog. I don't know why. I just kind of assumed that he'd be the dog here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still picking Lusa, but I'm less excited about it at the -146 or whatever, it was last I looked.
I think I saw -1. It's 130 right now. It's coming down a bit, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, definitely okay with that.
The closer it goes down to plus money, the more I'm like, okay.
Lusa's got good volume, decent wrestling. It's not great. It's only 38%, success. And it's actually better. Like that looks better than it really is because he got easy takedowns on Reese McKee and Gabriel Bonfim kept dropping for Gillies. So Ange was getting easy takedowns there. And then Gabriel would just pop right back up. So it's only 38% takedown accuracy. And I hope I'm explaining it well. I think it's worse than that. That percentage
the percentage should be worse. Yeah, it's inflated if you want to say.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. If Ange wrestles here, I think he can make it look really easy. Phil Rowe is far too complacent to get taken down and fight off his back. And so I think that's a pretty easy path for him. They're both decent on the feet. Ange is pretty fast, got some power. But I think on the feet, it should be very darn close. And if Ange wrestles, I think he could make it look pretty easy. Phil Rowe is a jiu-jitsu black belt. He hasn't gotten a sub in MMA since 2019, but he did recently get a rear naked choke in grappling. You know,
He likes to say he has a lot of jiu-jitsu under his belt, but he doesn't really show it in the UFC too much.
doesn't show it, you know, and he just kind of too complacent off your back. Like, I don't want people being confident in their jiu-jitsu. I want people trying to get up.
Mhm.
That being said, you know, he arguably beat Neil Magny.
That was close.
Really close fight. You know, before that, he's never won a decision, but the Nico Price fight and the Neil Magny fight, he was pretty close to winning decisions in both of those. It's not that he can't win a decision the way that like some guys can't win a decision, like because they gas, you know,
Yeah.
he could win a decision. He's just got very good finishing skills. So, you know, but I'm thinking like, you know, Phil Rowe finish only prop, perhaps, where it avoids if it goes the distance. That might be a good look. And, I'm thinking like some overs here. I'm also thinking that a point deduction is live because Phil is gonna poke him in the eye, and Anj is gonna react to it.
You know, we've seen it.
We've seen it. We've seen him kind of take the way out when he was getting.
I was so mad at that fight.
Pretty bad by Brian Battle. So I don't know. I try, you know, like for a while there, I was being very selective with those, and I hit on the Leon Edwards versus Kamaru. I hit on the point deduction in that fight, and then I've kind of stayed off since then. I don't want to like get too frisky with them. It's very rare that we see point deductions, except for bum ass Juliana Pena kicking Kayla 3 times in the face on the ground. I'm so happy that guy took a point. Not that
right away
mattering, but yeah, nice to see a ref with some balls. And so anyway, I'm probably not going to play the point deduction, but I think it's got a shot here.
Yeah, it's a good angle. Like you said, I mean, Phil's going to probably poke someone, and Anj is probably going to let him poke him. So
he's going to react. He's not going to.
And he will react.
Yeah. You know, also, I mean, you can see a cage grab for Phil Rowe when Anj is going for takedowns.
Yep.
They're both orthodox fighters, as Lou Betcher would tell you. You know, you're most likely to see a point deduction in a orthodox versus southpaw matchup, right? Because those low kicks are just so hard to avoid the groin.
True, so, on both sides.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We got on that, but I'll go Anj. I'm going to go Anj decision.
Okay. Yeah, I like the overs, like you said too. I think this fight does go over. I just, man, if Lusa had a couple knockouts, but like, man, he's got that iron chin, dude. Like, I've seen him get cracked a couple times, and he just keeps coming forward. So, but not to say that Phil can't do it. So we'll see.
On the feet, you know, I think Phil's live here. In my mind, he would be the favorite, right? And I was gonna be excited about the Lusa underdog pick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Phil is just more technical on the feet and smoother. Lusa it's partly just because he's so strong, but he kind of pushes his punches. There's no snap on them. There's no whip on them. He's kind of rigid. He's hittable. You know, if this is on the feet, I think Phil would win. So Anj better wrestle.
Yeah. I think he will. I think that's what he has to do, at least early. So he's shown it to do that too. So it's not like he's never done it before. So if I've never seen him do that before, I probably wouldn't be picking him because he needs to do that early, especially wear down Rowe a little bit. And then I think it'll be more of an even match on the feet.
Yeah.
We got Ripside in here. What's up, Ripside? That's why appreciate the $5 dono. That's why they didn't return to Detroit. Mm-hmm. Just search 8 Mile strip or clubs. Okay, there you go. I've been to Detroit maybe once or twice in my life. It's okay. It's not amazing, but
I'm a Packer fan, so I'll go ahead and make fun of Detroit. I was wondering if that strip club is like,
oh, are you serious? You're a Packer fan?
Yeah.
God,
I know.
Why didn't you tell me this before we started doing shows together?
I think we've talked about it. I know
you're I don't remember that. I would have remembered. Now I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
I've got like a little signed Aaron Rodgers helmet up there somewhere. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, how can I see that?
I guess that's fair. You can't see it in this view, but.
Saba said I can't pick a guy with loser mentality. Row for the win. All right, just that one time, Saba. He was gonna lose though, so he did the right thing for his career, anyways. Daz, appreciate the $5 donation as well. You're the man. I'm waiting for the over 1.5 for a parlay piece. I have zero confidence in both fighters. Yeah, the over 1.5 is a good parlay piece. I think in this fight, I think the over 2.5 is pretty good too, but it just depends on how what you think Rowe could or will do. I don't think he's going to be able to knock out Ange, but he could, but I don't think so.
Jack Della couldn't.
There you go. Man, go to Pantheon and then, okay. Is that a strip club? I'm guessing.
Where?
Yeah, where?
Which city?
Which city? Where? What street?
Yeah.
Let's go.
What are their hours? What's their omelet bar like?
Are they open for breakfast? That's the key. Next fight: Ricky Simone versus Cameron Smotherman. The newly added Cameron Smotherman. Who do you got for this one?
So Smotherman's on short notice, of course, after Charles Jourdain fell out. We'd seen some struggles from Ricky not too long ago. He wasn't looking that great. He wasn't wrestling successfully like he was originally known for. And then he comes out and absolutely starches Basharat Javed in the last fight. Cameron is decent on the feet, but has some of the worst takedown defense in the division. Sergey Sidi has only 25% takedown success, and he took Cameron down 5 times. And after taking him down 5 times, Sidi's takedown success is still only 25%. So it was surely lower before that. And it's not like Sidi was fighting, thunderous, strong takedown defense guys. He was fighting the bottom of the division, had terrible takedown accuracy, and he took down Smotherman like butter. And we've also seen Smotherman taken down on the regional circuit. He's never had good takedown defense here. I've been pulling down on DraftKings and FanDuel, just waiting for this line to come out, because Ricky's pretty much my most confident pick on the card. On a card with some big ass favorites.
Yeah.
I think Ricky absolutely gets him down here.
Yeah, I think I looked on Bet365. It's not on DraftKings yet, but Ricky's line is -450 money line. I think that's kind of a gift, to be honest.
Yeah, I think if that was on DraftKings or something tonight, I'd want to put it in the easy money parlay. I do see him now -500 on Bet Online.
Let me see if he's still the same, because I wouldn't mind putting that in there for sure.
Yeah, I think Ricky's a lock. Good durability,
Yeah, -450.
I'll mention this too. I described how Ricky kind of had a little downturn in his career. He wasn't able to get takedowns. Well, those losses have aged pretty well. People didn't know how good Mario Batista and Vinicius Oliveira were. Everyone knew that Song Yadong was good, but the Batista and Oliveira losses looked bad, and now they look quite excusable. Yep. Right? We're talking about a guy that was able to take down Jack Shore. I think Ricky's an absolute lock here.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I'm definitely on the Ricky side here. I still kind of liked him against Jourdain. I was going to pick him. I actually was going to bet him as well because of the wrestling, and Jourdain's takedown defense isn't great either. But he just has that guillotine you have to worry about, and I think Ricky would be okay. But now he's fighting someone who's going to be a little bit less of a fighter, if you want to say, short notice. I think Smotherman has the tools to be a pretty good fighter. I just think he needs work. It's very raw. I can see the potential there, but it's just not there yet, if you want to say. So this is going to be a tough one for him right now. So, but I'm gonna keep it short and sweet though. But I think Ricky gets this one. I don't know if he's gonna find the finish though. If he does, it might be late. And if he does, I think I would go the sub route. I think he's gonna get some takedowns and maybe a head and arm choke or something like that, arm triangle, something along those lines.
He loves the arm triangle, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a nasty one, and once he gets that locked in, it's over. So
yeah. He might look like Merab here, with top pressure submission game for sure. Cameron's good. He just needs to go to Dagestan 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Forget.
No. He needs something like a 2-year plan of just, I don't know, training certain things and then come back, and then we'll see where he's at. I can see the potential there, but it's just not there yet. He's just he's a fringe UFC guy, to be honest. Yeah. So at the moment, but he's still young. He's 27. So
yeah. Good athlete, good striker. Just a real easy path here for Ricky.
Yep. We got McMuffin with the $2.99 dono. Appreciate that, my man. Detroit lamb chops for the win. Extracurriculars on me. Okay. All right. You live in Detroit. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll go next time I'm out there that way. If I'm ever out that way. Scotty Law, greetings, men. I'm going to bet a bunch of parlays just because I know your partner loves them, Johnny. I love parlays as well.
Is
So
talking about like your wife or like talking about your co-host here?
I'm thinking you.
Because I love parlays. I love parlays. He's like,
I like parlays as well.
I love parlays too. She sounds awesome.
Yes. Ricky minus 500 on my bookie is a good parlay piece. I agree, Saba. Yup. When was the last time Ricky was a favorite? Well, he was going to be one against Jourdain.
He was a favorite against Vinicius Oliveira.
Yeah. I think I even bet him. Maybe not. No, I think I bet him against Mario. I didn't bet that fight against Vinicius. But like you said, those losses don't look all that bad anymore.
Yeah. And I'm not looking at my notes, so I can't remember who it was, but Vinicius fought on Contender Series and was taken down. Mm-hmm. But it was because he was throwing like the most wild, spinning, aggressive stuff. And then like second half of the fight, he actually used a modicum of fight IQ and was a little bit more careful, and he was fighting off the takedowns pretty well there. But it was kind of a nuanced thing to notice. The easy takeaway from that Contender Series fight was that he had no takedown defense. So everyone expected Ricky to just rinse him. But yeah, Vinicius is a stud for sure, and just really big for the division, far bigger than Cameron.
Agreed. All right, next fight is going to be a good one. Cody Durden versus Jose Okio, however you want to say it. I'm not too great with names. Yeah, this is another fight where, I mean, I know a lot of people are on Durden as a dog, and I honestly don't blame you one bit. But I just keep going back to some of these fights and watching, like, he's so aggressive early. And like, if he doesn't get you out of there early, like, I worry for his cardio. I do. Because even in the Matt Schnell fight, he was going life and death with Matt Schnell in the first round. And then luckily Matt Schnell gave him the neck for the ninja choke, and he wrapped it up right in the beginning of round 2 because Cody was gassed. He was done for. He used all of his energy in the first round. But Matt Schnell, you know, he's always good to give up something. But, I mean, he's a good fighter, though. He's well-rounded. He's got solid striking, you know, good grappling, chain wrestling as well. But like I said, if he doesn't get you out of there in the first round and a half, he just kind of slows down and gets really sloppy and doesn't really do much. Jose, on the other hand, like, he's a good striker. He's pretty dangerous as well. He likes to get his finishes early too. Good power in his hands. Takedown defense is pretty good. And I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I don't know if he's really been tested as he might get tested in this fight. But I just don't see either way this fight plays out. I like the under. I'll say it right now. The under 2.5. I think it might be a good spot in this one. Because I do think Jose could knock Cody out early, could knock him out after like a round and a half when he gets a little tired. Bruno was able to do that against Cody, or Cody can just maul him and maybe wrap up maybe a knockout or a guillotine or something like that on the mat. So I'm going to go with the young guy. He's 10 years younger, a little less miles. I'm going to trust the cardio. And, you know, if Cody gets a little too aggressive, I think he can get countered, and I think he can get rocked. So I'd be a little worried, but I think this fight could end up being, it can go either way. What do you think? I'm not very confident. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I feel the same way. You know, we're talking about Durden, who's beat Charles Johnson and Jake Hadley, right? I mean, yep. Caitlin Loughran couldn't get Jake Hadley down. Charles Johnson beat Josh Van. Van would smoke Ochoa, right?
Yep.
The problem with Cody, you said it well. He starts out really strong in round 1 and then falls off a cliff. He was able to get Van down twice in round 1, and then he couldn't get him down the rest of the fight. Durden was gassed after 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Cody showed incredible durability there, so I'm thinking Ochoa decision here, right?
Yeah.
He showed a hell of a chin. That's going to fade at some point. When you just get blasted every fight, you know that only lasts for so long. But we have to give Durden his flowers for that grit and durability. As you said, Matt Schnell was landing on him pretty good on the feet in round 1. Before that, he fought Bruno Silva, and Cody looked okay on the feet. But then, you know,
he just started to entertain the striking, and then he just got rocked with an uppercut.
Because it was Bruno that kept initiating the grappling, which led to Cody getting some top control time. And he threatened to Darce, he threatened to rear naked choke, but Bruno got up and landed that huge uppercut. Before that, we saw Tagir Bekov was just, levels above him. But
Mm-hmm.
before that, Hadley and Johnson, back-to-back wins. Really, really, really good wins. So
I mean, he almost lost that Hadley fight. I was there live. Hadley had him in, I don't remember if it was like an anaconda or some kind of choke for at least like a minute and a half. It was insane. I don't know how he survived it.
Yeah. But 4 of 6 takedowns, 7 minutes of control time on Hadley, who has, decent takedown defense. Ochoa on the other side, he's fun to watch.
Yep.
He's like a capoeira style, loose, smooth, southpaw striker, hands down style, solid range management. He's got lots of hand movement to kind of distract you and set traps. But if you do get in range on him, he doesn't have the greatest head movement. He's got really diverse kicks. He'll throw a ton of teeps and oblique kicks, front kicks. He'll throw some spinning stuff every now and then. He'll kind of lull you to sleep by just throwing not thunderous, just real soft kind of low kicks, and then boom, and flash up a front kick or something spinning. He's Peruvian, so that means you got wild durability and wild cardio. It's science. It's a scientific fact.
It's true.
He showed some good cardio in the Loney Kavanaugh fight. That was a pretty close fight, I think. He actually hurt Loney to the body in round 2, and Loney shot a takedown on him. Ochoa stuffed it easy, took his back. But that, leads us to the real crux of this fight, which is Cody going to get him down for 2 rounds or not? And we haven't really seen enough out of Ochoa's takedown defense. Like I said, he defended one from Loney, but Loney was hurt there. So it's a little tough. I think Ochoa is almost like too flashy for his own good. It's like he needs to land some really gorgeous, crazy stuff. He's not a great minute winner. Sometimes he is busy. He's high volume. But I think the way you'd want to bet this fight is live bet Ochoa after round 1, after Cody very likely gets him down in round 1.
Yeah, I can see that. I think, like I said, I think it'll be a close fight. I just like that under. I don't know why. It's either I think Cody will get him out of there early, maybe with some kind of like rear naked choke or when he gets him on the ground, or Cody gasses and then Jose just rocks him on the feet. Kind of like a Bruno, maybe not exactly the same way, but something along those lines in the second or early third round. Just nowadays, Cody, you see a lot of decisions on his record, but now I feel like the last 4 or 5, actually probably 5 fights, he's been going for finishes. Sometimes he gets it and sometimes he gets finished. So I'm going to bank on that. Because Ochoa is no slouch. He can knock you out. That's another thing too.
He's no slouch. I'd also mention he could get a sub. He fought Juscelino Pantoja, who is pretty solid. He's 5-0, pretty damn good fighter. And Jose dropped him with a jumping crane kick. Jose lands a couple punches on him and ended up getting an anaconda choke on him. He's got grappling for sure. So don't my recommendation, I wouldn't go too heavy on the KO prop, but I think you could sub Durden and the opportunities are going to be there. Durden's going to be trying to get it to the ground for sure.
And for some reason too, with men's flyweights, I feel like they always end in a finish more times than not. Not a lot of them go to decision anymore. Like they used to.
This whole year, we've seen a crazy amount of finishes, even in women's fights. But I think, generally speaking, flyweight typically goes to decision. Flyweights are very high DFS scores because of their just crazy volume.
Yeah.
So this might be a good fight to target on DFS. But I think I might end up betting Ochoa decision.
Okay.
Or like round 3, maybe
round 3 decision.
Stack up and go, or just the round 3, super risky prop. Because I think we're seeing it the same way. Cody's going to look good early and then fall off a cliff.
Yeah. You're just banking on it going to decision. I'm banking on it ending sometime before that. But maybe, I can see it go either way, to be honest.
Yeah. Maybe the round 3 is the good way to go. I'm looking at real quickly any finish here. I think these are still updated. And a little more finishes than I thought, about 50% of the time. I was thinking to be a little bit less than that. So, 50-50 shot to see a finish historically in the flyweight division.
Yeah, it seems like that number is only going up as of late anyways. We got Any Action Effie in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us. Smash that like button, everybody. If you haven't yet, please. And thank you, Saba, for letting everybody know that. Clearing a spot in Florida trophy room for for the Cup, Effie. I know you're an Iowa fan. See, yeah, Effie loves them Oilers. He loves them. Damn, Ryan Matthews. Damn, look at these two handsome men giving out insightful breakdowns. That's what we do. That's what we do, Ryan. Appreciate you coming out.
Ryan's got good taste.
Dick's Insider, what's up? Oh my God, Johnny, they just announced Michelle Pereira versus Marco Tulio. Marcel tweeted, and he confirmed.
Banger.
I am Michelle Pereira. That last fight makes me sick. I had a bet on him.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can bet on him again.
He was the only favorite to lose on that card.
Yeah,
it was wild card.
Disgusting. Oil up. Okay, Diddy.
I think he's talking like Edmonton.
I know.
I think of Dana White. I think of Dana White when you say oil up. But.
Oil.
Yeah.
Next fight though, Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Matunio, however you want to say it. I'll let you start this insightful breakdown here.
Yeah. So I'm not going out on a limb or anything here. I've definitely got Malcolm here. Malcolm's an absolute gangster, huge power in his hands. This is his first fight as a full-time fighter, right? Since he was able to quit his job when he got the performance of the night bonus last fight out. Matinho's on a 5-fight win streak, but against some really low-level guys. He is training at New England Cartel with Rob Font. I don't remember if Cater went back there. Cater left New England Cartel a couple fights ago. I don't know if he's back, but pretty sure Matinho's getting in rounds with Rob Font, which is pretty damn good. Matinho's known for having crazy durability because Sean O'Malley was just blasting him, and then Matinho almost made it to decision and got standing TKO'd. But then the next fight out, he got standing TKO'd again in round 1 by Guido Canetti. But it is interesting. Like, you can't put this guy down, but he will just stand there and get battered. And I think we're definitely going to see some battering going on here. Matinho's decently well-rounded. He's decent everywhere, but just still hittable. He's still hittable like he always has been. He's been getting some submissions, during this 5-fight stint outside the UFC, but he's being brought in here to help continue this 9-0 prospect on his way to fame. So definitely on Malcolm. The Malcolm KO prop is like -200 or something. And I agree that he's probably pretty likely to get a KO here. But, like we said, Matinho has shown some really solid durability. It took O'Malley a ton of significant strikes to get him out of there. And Wellmaker is a little less of an attritional KO guy. He doesn't land crazy volume. He's more about setting traps. Like Cameron Simon was outpointing. It was a short fight, right? Like I think it was 9 significant strikes to 6. So small sample size, but Cameron Simon was out pointing him a little bit, and Cameron just kind of set that trap and blasted him. So, could Matinho stretch this thing out and hit some overs, go to decision, and Wellmaker decision prop at like +600, I think, or no, it was like +750 when I wrote my write-up. I think that Wellmaker decision +750, even though I think he'll get a KO, -200 versus +750 for the decision. I think that +750 has some legs on it. The over 1.5 at +135 has my eye as well. But if I had to pick, I'm going Wellmaker to get a KO like in round 2.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I think Wellmaker, or I should say Chris, can survive to round 2. I think it's just going to be an early round 2 finish. He's going to take a lot of damage probably, but one counter is going to hit in round 2. But yeah, Wellmaker's good. I think he's a really good striker, I think. And Chris is, like you said, Chris is there to be a punching bag. His best trait is his toughness and heart. Other than that, I mean, he's okay everywhere else, but that's the 2 best traits. But he's just going to get hit a lot. And yeah, I think Wellmaker does find that KO. I think the KO prop is pretty safe. The over 1.5 is interesting because there are a lot of lines set at 1.5 on this card, and I keep looking at all of them, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to do one of them or not. The over, especially, this is probably the best over No, actually, the Paul Craig one, but this one's second, I believe. The over 1.5 is plus 135.
I might
It's not
play
the
both.
closest.
I don't want to give it away. We'll get to the Paul Craig, but I might play both of those.
Yeah, the over 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, and I'm like, man, but I trust that over a little bit more than this one for some reason. What do you think? Well, we'll get to there, but
I think you're right. I'm more excited about the Pilato over than this one.
Yeah,
Flowmaker could absolutely starch him, but
that's the problem.
I think at plus money, I might give them both a poke.
Yeah, it's not a bad look here. Let's see, Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy? Sorry, my late boys. What's up? Appreciate you coming out. Still, it's okay, Jeremy. We're still here. It's okay. I'm on auto bet. Whoever Michelle's opponent is, there you go. I don't hate it. We'll make her decision if Chris has the durability. We'll see.
Yeah.
What did he do? Lose.
Well, no, he's like, why does the UFC hate this guy?
We got Artem MMA. What's up, Artem? And new Charles do Bronx Oliveira has submitted Ilia Topuria in the first round. Artem, I don't know if you know this or not. You probably don't, but I am going to that card. And if that happens, Effie will have to videotape me because we're going to see the card together. And I will probably be drunk the rest of the night if that happens, just so you know. Because I will be screaming like a little girl.
I was going to say, you'd be pretty excited if that happens.
Oh, that'd be wild. I wouldn't even know what I would do. I don't even know what I would do.
By the way, I love Artem. Artem is the freaking man. Everybody is, man.
Artem is the man, for sure.
You know, Elijah Wan's always in here supporting you. Mm-hmm. Dixon is like always supporting
everybody. He's awesome.
Dixon is the freaking man. But Artem's one of my favorite guys to watch his breakdowns.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Artem knows.
We love Effie. Right? Everybody loves Effie.
Effie's the man, too.
Your whole chat is badass.
I give Effie crap on our chat, but he's the man. Fun fact, Matuno has never lost by decision, 4 KOs and 2 sub losses. There you go. Okay. Can I have some of the drugs you're on right now?
Artem's just trying to move the line. I know what Artem's up to. He's trying to move the line.
No, Artem is a big Charles Oliveira fan like I am.
We all are. Who doesn't love Charles Oliveira?
I mean, we're big. We told ourselves that we would buy Charles Oliveira comforters, but we didn't. Well, I didn't. Maybe Artem did when he won the belt.
Is it him with blonde hair? Like, is it just a picture of Charles on a blanket?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's pretty funny. They're going to sleep the man around. Oh, come on. Round 1? You crazy. Maybe like 2 or 3, but not round 1.
You might say that Charles has, well, I don't think it's even debatable. I think it's clear. Charles has got the most power of anybody Ilia's ever fought. But I just think Ilia's got the best boxing in the UFC. Better than Piotr Jan, better than JDM. He's incredible.
Yeah, he's definitely up there for sure. Let's see, Oliveira gonna get smashed, blah, 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 blah. Fantastic. Gonna end the world just like Saba's team, Topuria. We keep going back and forth. Next fight, though, we'll get right into Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. And I will go. This is one of the fights where I kind of kept going back and forth with. I ended up settling on Chiesa ever so slightly because I think he can work the grappling on Court McGee. Now, I know Court McGee is solid everywhere, but he's 40 years old. He's been to decision a million times. I know his last fight, he went in there and basically just ragdolled Tim Means, but Tim Means was on his way out. Like, I think Michael Chiesa has a little bit more gas in the tank than Tim Means, but Court McGee's 40. So I think the striking might favor Court McGee, but I don't think Chiesa's going to go in there and strike. His bread and butter is wrestling and grappling and get this fight to the mat, working submissions. I know Court McGee's never been submitted either, but I think it could be live here. He's 40 years old. So we'll see what happens here. This is a close fight, though. I can totally see Court McGee keeping on the feet and winning a boring striking fight, 30-27 for sure. But I don't think Chiesa is going to go down like that. So this is just one of those coin flip fights. I really think so. I know the line shouldn't be the way it is. I would never bet Chiesa at minus 350. But I'm not betting this fight, though. That's the thing. So give me Chiesa when I think it does go to decision. I just think he wins ever so slightly. What do you think?
Yeah, I told you I think there's some apple pie shitters on this card. And Chiesa is one that I think could
He
lose
could.
at these very wide odds. I might like officially pick Court McGee on my Instagram post. He might be my official pick. I definitely think he's a live dog. What's interesting is he's got exactly 69% takedown defense. Nice. So does Max Griffin, exactly 69%. And I was wrong on that fight. I thought Max Griffin was going to defend takedowns. He's training with Fluffy and, historically pretty good takedown defense. Chiesa is terrible on the feet, will tap immediately if you grab his neck. Not the greatest wrestling in the world. And I was wrong. Chiesa got him down twice and got the finish. And so I'm torn on it. Court's known for having really good takedown defense, never been subbed like you mentioned. I think it should be like a pick 'em. And if it was a pick 'em, I'd probably pick Chiesa to do exactly what he did to Max Griffin. But at these odds, there's zero chance in hell I would play Chiesa, just like you said. I think this fight probably goes the distance. Chiesa's never got a KO. Court's never been subbed. I think Court could crack him on the feet. If he's able to defend takedowns, Court's going to look minus 1,000 on the feet. It all just comes down to the takedown defense. Yeah. Very binary fight. So a tough one. I might end up officially picking Court McGee as a very big dog.
Yeah, I mean, if I was to bet something, and even though I am on the Chiesa side, it would be like the overs. I would bet even maybe like McGee plus 3.5 spread too. Like I think he can win one round. I just don't see this fight actually a finish at all in this fight.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I'm thinking it goes to decision. I'm thinking I might bet Court decision. But like I said, if Court wins, Court's live for a KO. So
yeah, but if Chiesa goes in there and gets a takedown within a minute, and he has 4 minutes to work with on top, then I'll be sweating that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I could see Chiesa getting the early finish if there is one, but I don't think McGee's going to be able to get a finish at all, personally.
I mean, I think he could on the feet, and
he could, but other than his last fight against Tim Means, which we all did not see coming, how he won. That was just pure. I felt like he just ragdolled him and basically got a neck crank, and he submitted or he tapped real quick. It was like, what? Yeah. But he hasn't got a finish
since in 15 years.
In 2010.
Yeah.
That is insane to me. He was 25 years old.
Yeah, no,
that is I mean,
it is wild.
You might as well bet Court McGee by decision if you're going to bet Court McGee.
that's what I'm leaning towards. Yeah,
or even a round 3 decision if you think Chiesa might gas out in round 3 just in case. I don't.
Yeah, no, I think I'm just trying to think of. I'm trying to poke holes in my own thought, right? And I'm well, Court could grab his neck and Chiesa will tap immediately if he does. If it's on the feet, Court's light years better, even at 40. But yeah, I really do think this probably goes the distance. I might just bet that straight up, just fight goes.
Yeah, it's probably around minus 150.
I thought it was even closer than that when I took a look on Bet.
It could be. It could be. I'm just guessing. I just saw minus 180 for over 2.5. Let's see. Chiesa will beat him so bad he will end up in court. There you go. I don't want to bet on a fight where both guys have white hair in their beards. Agreed. Maybe the over is a play. I think that would be what I would play in this fight if I did the over 2.5. I know it's not a crazy, sexy odds there, but I think it's might be the safest. So with decent odds, nobody can tell me Chiesa didn't look scared and wasn't backing up and striking versus a washed Tony. Yeah, he's not a striker for sure.
No, he was running from Tony.
I think Court can scramble with him here. I don't see it one-sided on the ground. Okay.
I would agree.
What's up, Mushroom? Appreciate you coming out as always. What's up? He said to you as well. What's up, Chad? He's just everywhere. Appreciate you coming out, Mushroom.
He's right. We couldn't even drink. We probably couldn't even drive last time Court got a finish.
No, I was 25. I'm the same age as that guy. It's crazy. He looks like he's 55 years old. Fight goes a distance minus 160 on Bet 365. So maybe you can find a little bit better somewhere else.
I like it, and I also like your plus 3.5 on court.
I think that might be a good look too. Like I said, I just don't think there's going to be a finish. I might even bet that, even though I picked Chiesa. So we'll see what the odds are for that, though. If it's plus money, for sure.
I think it will be.
Next one, Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bellato. I'll let you go ahead and go.
Right on. Well, sadly, Tapology doesn't give the exact reason that Bellato fell out of the last fight. Do you recall, Johnny?
I do.
All right.
It was the herp.
the herp got him.
Which is the wildest excuse ever, but he ain't lying. I never heard that one before.
No, I mean, I find it hard to believe that Bellato's ever lied about anything in his life.
Yeah.
If he told the truth about that, if he let the whole world know that, he might be like Jim Carrey on Liar Liar. Like, he might be physically incapable of telling a lie, because I have no idea why he would even tell everyone that. So wild stuff. In our Survivor Series, so many people got burned by the Bellato hurt, because their Survivor pick was, something Bellato or Craig related. And so,
yeah. And then do you do a Survivor pool too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're on season 13 right now, I think.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah. I do a little Survivor pool on my Patreon too. We're only on season 4 though.
You got some juicy prizes. Chuck Liddell signed trunks, Tom Aspinall signed glove, Roy Jones Jr. signed glove and trunks, and Ryan Garcia signed glove and trunks, which is a little less cool than it was a couple months ago. But
nice. Well, you have way better prizes than I do.
Some juicy ones. I got a whole fucking closet full of signed stuff, all just still packaged up. I got a couple things hanging up. Khabib tapping Connor over here to my left, and yeah, I'm frivolous and terrible at saving money, so I've got all kinds of good shit. But
there you go.
Anyway, I think Bellato should win here. I like this fight. Some overs. We talked about it a little while ago. I honestly might bet like Bellato decision, because I think he would be smart to go kind of the Bo Nickel route of just piecing him up from distance.
Mm-hmm.
Bellato does have a tendency to make some bad decisions. He might dive, face first into a triangle here. But I think Bellato is just going to, and he's got power, of course, right? Like, Bellato can hurt guys for sure. We know that. But I think he would be smart to keep this pretty technical, stay at range, and piece up Craig to a decision. So, this over 1.5 has my eye. I'm on Bellato. Craig is moving back up to 205 here, which is...
I was just going to say.
He's actually...
That might help his cardio-ish a little bit. And durability.
Yeah, definitely should help his durability, and 205ers just kind of suck. Like, they're just slower. They have worse jiu-jitsu. It's just better for him than fighting these slightly faster, more athletic, better, more well-rounded middleweights.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the middleweight division is great either, but I think light heavyweights are just worse at fighting. They're just bigger and stronger, and he's plenty strong, if he can get it in the right spots. So we are talking about the guy who tapped out Magomed Ankalaev with 1 second left in the fight. He's got some really good wins, but just terrible on the feet, throwing a ton of terrible no power air ball kicks.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wrestle, suspect durability. So Bellato could definitely starch him. Bellato could definitely make a stupid decision and dive into a trap. But I like Bellato over 1.5 here.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. This is like we were just saying a little bit ago. I like this over 1.5 out of all the 1.5s the most. It's minus 125. I know it's not plus money, but for some reason, I just think it's going to be a slower paced fight in the beginning. Obviously, Paul Craig's going to want to try to get this fight to the mat, but the only way he can do that is if he gets close enough and pulls guard. Bellato, I hope he doesn't entertain that. He could probably just stay at range, and then once the round 2 hits, I think that's probably when he's going to start to do a little bit more damage on Paul Craig. And I think I can sweat 2.5 minutes. The first round will be a sweat, obviously, but if it's a slow-paced one, which I do think it will be, I think Bellato should be able to get a finish in late round 2 or maybe 3, or maybe it does go decision, like you said. So it just depends on Bellato's fight IQ. I honestly think that's what it all depends on what is he going to do in this fight. If he's smart, he'll win this fight. If he's dumb, he's gonna lose this fight. So It all depends.
One last thought for you. I think it's literally impossible that Paul Craig would win a decision here. The Bellato decision only line, which if there's any finish either way, the bet voids. Bellato decision only, I think is a nice parlay piece. It's likely to void, but I think it's a lock.
Yeah, I like it too. Let's
and it's
see.
Only like -2 something.
Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. Especially it's like a free roll. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll just take a shot and see what happens.
Maybe I should just put like 20 units on it.
It went 10. There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't bet that prop, but I did bet court decision by plus 500. Okay, that I think if he wins, I think that's how he does it. We need some finishes to keep the Bloodhounds happy. This is true. I mean, it's got to be Matt herpes, right? It's some kind of herpes. I don't know. What's up, Haymaker?
Oh, staff, man. Just say you got staff. Like, come
right?
on.
Yeah, staff is just fine.
Also, I'm amazed Paul Craig took this fight again. Because when they fell out a couple weeks ago, I was like, well, they're trying to rebook this. There's no way in hell Paul Craig's going to fight this guy now. But, man, respect to him, I guess.
I guess it's not transmittable if you have shorts on. Haymaker, what's up? Bookie's had a few weeks to see our last beta on this fight. Yeah, for sure.
Well, interestingly, the line is a little thinner this time. He was like -500 last time. Now he's like -350. So
you're right. I remember now. Tom in Colorado. What's up, Tom? Craig will retire and get herpes at the same time. Perfect. There you go. Here's your parting gift. Herpes forever. Greg has worse striking than Bo Nickel, so Bellato is a lock. Or Craig, yeah. I think the fear of another STD will keep Bellato from going to the ground. Yeah, there you go. Or maybe Craig will not want to get to the ground with him. And then he'll want to keep it on the feet. If Bellato wants to highlight KO on his resume, now is the time against opponent. There it is. Yep. Dude, that stuff is highly contagious. It's a risk to even 5 fighters. Yep. For sure.
I would assume. Yeah.
But maybe it's, maybe it's somewhere where he doesn't have to worry about.
It's like inside the cup, probably.
Yeah. That you got a lot of protection there. No touching.
Pretty sure Craig's not going to throw any low blows here. He's going to keep those kicks far away.
He'll kick really low or really high. There's no touching down there. Watch your head too as well. Main card, not main event. Alonzo Menafield versus Umar Sy. I'll go ahead and go. This is going to be, I think this one could be interesting, but I'm going to go with Sy. I know he's a little raw, but he's going to be a little bit bigger, a little taller, a little longer. I like his grappling. I wish his wrestling was a little bit better because Alonzo does have pretty good takedown defense. But on the feet, he can get countered. He can get cracked. He's shown a suspect chin, but Sy's striking it's getting better, but I don't think it's like, he could still land a knockout shot, but it's not like he's super technical. I'd say like a Malcolm Wellmaker or something like that. So I'm going with Sy, like I said. I do think he's going to be able to get this done. I just don't know how. I could see a knockout. I could see a sub. I could see a decision. So I don't really know which way to go for him. So I'll just say finish. I'll just take 2 of the 3 and go inside the distance for Sy. I want to see more from him personally before I even bet him. But I think this is a good test for him. What do you think about this one?
I'm always somebody who's looking for future parlay legs in previous weeks. I haven't put Umar in anything, even when the odds were better. And I always parlay Umar. Like I think I parlayed him every single fight. And last time out, I was nervous as hell. He was like -600 against Jung, and Jung hurt him. Umar was content to strike in round 2 and round 3. Umar looked gassed as hell. Umar's striking is improving. He was throwing a ton of kicks. He had a pretty good pre-UFC resume fighting in KSW, where you're fighting a bunch of like roided out Eastern European psychopaths. And I mean that very lovingly. Like, I mean that as a compliment. But yeah, last fight has me sketched out for sure. He was, taking some ugly shots, unable to get takedowns, not the best top control in the world. He ended the fight on bottom because he finally got Jung down for the first time in like the final 2 rounds, gets the back, gets too high and slips right off. And Jung was on top to end the fight. So for a guy who's like always minus 700 in every single fight, I think he's a very hazardous play here. We all know Alonzo, tons of power, atomic power in his hands, big time cardio issues though. So I think both these guys have bad cardio. And bad cardio leads to fewer knockouts and more submissions and more decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I think that at plus 1,300, Alonzo to win a decision, it only needs to happen 1 in 14 fights for it to break even. I think Alonzo could win a decision here 1 out of 14 times. We just saw him fight Juicebox. Was it Julius Jackson, right?
Julius Walker.
Julius Walker. Yeah. And,
that was a closer fight than I thought it would be.
It was very close. Alonzo didn't look great there. Split decision, and Walker, super cool dude, but Umar's probably better than Walker.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think that round 1, Umar probably has a little bit of wrestling success, and then I don't think he's going to have much success in round 2 or round 3. Alonzo could starch him. Obviously, everyone would probably expect Alonzo to get a KO if he wins, but Alonzo could snatch up that neck like from a front choke. He just got a sub a couple fights ago. And I think his decision is live. So I might get to something super risky here, like an Alonzo either sub or decision might be one of my like crazy props that I played this week. I'll pick Sai, but I have him in literally no parlays, and like I'm this freaking close to actually picking Alonzo here, which is just insane. But Umar has so much room for improvement still. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's kind of like what I was a little bit worried about if I picked Alonzo and then I watched the fight and then you see Sai like look way better than his last fight. You're like, oh, well, I was stupid for doing that. I don't want to have like that FOMO, you know what I mean? Because I do think
it's like,
fair, yeah. I just think I know what I'm going to get from Menafield. If I know, or it's going to be a little bit lower. I think with Sai, I have a feeling I know what I'm going to get. And if it's not that, it might be a little bit higher than that. So I feel like I'm playing the upside here, if you want to say. But I think Alonzo's going to be live early. But I think if he doesn't get him out of there in the first round, I think Sai wins, personally.
Yeah. No, it's interesting, though, because I think round 1 is when Umar's going to give him the least space. I think Umar is going to be stuck to him like glue in round 1. And then once Umar's tired, he's going to be content to strike. And I think rounds 2 and 3 could be very close if it gets there.
But we've seen Alonzo get really he looked like he's sloppy drunk out there, just throwing punches in rounds 2 and 3. And you're like, dude, how are you even surviving? Like, what do you like? You are literally barely standing up right now.
Yeah.
So that's it's a weird fight. Definitely. I have nothing on this one, and I don't want anything about it.
I should probably completely pass as well. Yeah. But I'm closer to doing something risky on Alonzo than parlay and Umar. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. Omar will sleep him in the first round. I'm going to bet that. Okay. Alonzo getting older and slower in every fight. I do agree with that for sure. His last match, Juicy is so green. He won a decision. Alonzo sucks. Okay. Johnny, I need a Sai more and Umar to be able to back him a huge chalk. Give me the big Zoe by split. Everyone don't forget it's the year the undefeated prospects favorites losing by decision. That's true. It's C. Sorry, Sai C. Yeah, it's French. Trust me. Okay, there you go. There you go. All right, I'll trust you. That's fine. I thought it was Sai, but it's all good. We'll see Alonzo get knocked out. All right, we'll see. And speaking of knockouts, Cody Brundage versus Mansur Abdul Malik. Who do you like?
Obviously, I like Malik. I am, same odds as Umar, but way better than Umar.
I trust him way more.
Yeah, and I think Alonzo's better than Cody. So, yeah, I've been parlaying Umar for weeks. We're trying my best to, and, I think Malik is damn good. If you're going to bet Cody, make sure you bet his KO prop on DraftKings, because then when he pulls a Brundage and gets a DQ win, that cashes. If you play the KO prop on FanDuel and he wins by DQ, it doesn't cash. So word to the wise, you always want to bet Cody Brundage by KO on DraftKings, not FanDuel. Last time out, he beat Julian Marquez, who's, far, far, far past his prime. I know the last time out, Mansour got hurt by Nick Klein with that a spinning back fist or spinning back elbow.
Yeah.
I can't recall. I got to rewatch that still. We didn't tell people. I'm on a little bit of short notice here, like Danny Ige. So some of these fights I'm going off mostly memory. But, Mansour was hurt last fight. But
I remember. I bet him and I was worried.
Yeah. But I don't think Klein is that awful. So, yeah, I think Mansour's just got a real bright future. I wrote, previously that I think he probably closes at minus 1,000. It might be even worse than that come Saturday.
Yeah, right now he's minus 800. I could see why, but I am also going on the Mansour side. I think he does find that KO in rounds 1 or 2. Cody goes for it and he usually gets finished. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, the last fight he went to decision. I don't even know how it went to decision. It was against Cedric Dumas. They both wanted to quit after round 1, and somehow, I guess Cody Brundage was less of a quitter than Dumas was in that fight. But all after that, it was round 1, round 2, round 1. That was a no contest, but he was going to get finished in round 1 and round 1. So I think round 1 or 2 KO for Mansour is a good look.
No doubt.
I mean, I've said it time and time again. I'm sure Cody Brundage is a cool dude outside of Octagon, but I just don't think he's UFC level.
I told you, I think it was like maybe our last fight we broke down was a Brundage fight. Maybe it was the Marquez. It might have been the Marquez card.
Oh, yeah. And I was on Brundage that fight. I was like, this is the one. I don't believe I'm going to say it. This is the first time I ever picked Cody Brundage.
Yeah, we both did. And we were right. But I told you the story last time. Forgive me. I was sitting by his family at some fights one time, like up close. And they didn't tell me right off the bat that they were, I think it was like his girlfriend and somebody he trains with or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was so uncomfortable when the entire crowd was booing the hell out of Brundage, and like they were like melting down in their chair, and I felt so bad. I was like, no, come on guys, stop it. Like trying to simmer the crowd down. Sitting by his I think his girlfriend and like his buddy, maybe his family member, when he pulled a Brundage, was one of the least comfortable moments I've ever had in my MMA fandom career.
That's funny.
It was rough.
Let's see what everyone. What do you think is going to find the KO? You say KO?
Oh yeah.
There we go. Haymaker says Fave's going to roll this card. I have a feeling a lot of favorites are going to win too. Again, like last card. Like I think maybe there might be two underdogs that hit. I think it'll be one that all of us won't expect, and then it'll be one that most people expected.
Yeah, I've got an underdog pick coming up, but I think C and Chiesa are a little sketchy for favorites, but
I think Chiesa for sure. I'm a little bit more confident in C, but man, that Chiesa fight though, I kind of wanted to pick Court, but I just didn't. I think Court's gonna fall off a cliff at some point. He's 40 years old. He's gonna look real bad. And I don't know if this is going to be the one. That's why I'm like, this could be the one, and I can look like an idiot. But it is what it is. I'll look like an idiot if Court wins. So whatever. Would it be the first? Cody wins by disqualification by milking a fake injury. That could happen. We won't pick guys all over Brundage. Does B have a chance? No. I hope he's not.
Who did he ask? Who's B?
We want pick is all over Brundage. Does B have a chance? I don't know what B means.
Brundage have a pick.
Brundage. I don't think he does. Not in this fight.
If you don't have anything nice to say, I'll
the UFC
pass on that comment.
Yeah. The UFC tries to use Cody Brundage as cannon fodder. Mansour by KO, I agree. The UFC wants Cody there so he can shine up the next star. Agreed. I'm still salty about dumbass Mark Smith gifting that fight to go. I know. Oh, I thought it was pretty appropriate. I thought you were going to say Abdul Al-Hassan. I was so mad when they called that a no contest.
Yeah. Mark Smith pulls something every week.
Mark Smith is he's low on my list. Let's put it that way. UFC Baku card next week looks really good. Not gonna lie. Sorry, going off topic. You know what? I looked at a few of those fights. I'll have to look at it again because I don't know if I thought the same thing first glance.
This whole June is awesome.
But I'll tell you what's going to be awesome: UFC 317.
Yeah.
Like, I am pumped for all of those fights except maybe one. But it's still going to be fun, though. It was the heavyweight fight, Denise and Tafa. That's going to be fun because you know someone's going to get knocked out.
Yeah.
Other than that, all the other ones are going to be fun. But next one, Cody Garbrandt, the third Cody of the card versus Raoni Barcelos. And here is another one where I was kind of going back and forth. But I ended up going with Barcelos. And the reason why is I think he can mix in that wrestling. I don't think Cody's going to mix in any wrestling at all. He's mainly just a striker nowadays. I don't think his takedown defense is all that great either. And if Barcelos can get pretty good position on him when he is on the mat, I think he can find a sub. Figgy was able to do that real quick and easy. I'm not saying Barcelos is Figgy level of grappling, but I think he can do something along those lines, or at least just win minutes that way. On the feet, I know Cody will be quicker, but man, Barcelos has a chin. He's got good striking as well. I think it's going to be close on the feet. I know Barcelos is a little bit older, but Cody's chin's a little suspect. It's looking better lately, but it's still there, I think. But Barcelos isn't such a knockout artist. I keep going back and forth. That's why I was like, So I'm going to go with Barcelos. I just think he's a little bit more well-rounded. He can mix in the wrestling. And honestly, I kind of like him the longer the fight goes a little bit more than Cody. Cody's going to be very explosive early. He kind of, like in the Trevin Jones fight, I don't know if he was just being very safe in that fight, but like in round 3, he won the first 2 rounds very clear. But round 3, man, he was just like, he didn't do anything at all. And so I'm worried for him if the fight goes longer. So give me Barcelos to win. I like the overs in this fight. I do trust the chin a little bit, not too much to bet, but Barcelos by decision would be my play. I'm probably going to stay away from this one. What do you think?
Garbrandt's my only official underdog pick so far. I bet him for 2 units at plus 165.
Okay. I don't hate it.
I think he's, obviously far better on the feet. They've both shown some durability concerns in the past, but I think if he can defend the takedowns, he's going to make it look pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Cody's got 80% takedown defense. Raoni has just 37% takedown success, and it got a boost when he went 8 for 15 against Peyton Talbot. And I'm still so salty about that fight because in my write-up, I wrote that I was going to bet Raoni money line and Raoni sub. He didn't get the sub, but I ended up just never actually pressing the button on it. But we stayed off Talbot. Didn't have Talbot in a single parlay. I mean, the line was wild, but I always parlay Talbot. I won 35 units when he beat, that scrub. No, I want to say son of a gun. The real low-level guy where he started out minus 455. We had him in a million parlays at minus 455, and then he ended up minus 1,600. Oh, Giannis Gamuri.
Oh, okay.
Had 35 units come in on Peyton. I just parlayed the hell out of him at minus 455. Didn't touch him at all against Raoni. Still so salty, though, that I didn't pull the trigger on Raoni. But, Cody defended 4 out of 5 Figgy takedowns. Once Figgy had him down, it was a wrap. But, yeah, I think this should be very close. And Raoni might get a takedown. But I think on the feet, there's going to be a crowd booing for takedowns and yelling for Cody Garbrandt every time he lands something. I think he's going to keep it on the feet enough and outpoint him, probably win a decision here.
Yep. Yeah, I think either guy wins a decision here. I think it's going to be close one way or another. I do like I said, if Raoni can get this fight to the mat, there might be a chance for a submission or something like that. But other than that, I think it goes to decision. No, I don't think Cody's going to be able to knock out Raoni. I mean, he could. I mean, the only thing that Umar KO from Barcelos, that was wild and perfectly placed. So Cody's going to have to do that again because usually Raoni's pretty durable. Let's see. Johnny, do you have any PFL plays maybe at the end? Honestly, I'll be brutally honest. I have not looked at anything PFL. And I know it's this week. I didn't look at anything. I'll probably do that maybe tomorrow. because I got nothing to do. Maybe
I'm pretty
tomorrow.
confident in Jesus Pinedo.
Okay.
I think Alexei Pregande wins, but
I don't even know who's fighting. I'll be honest. I didn't even look at the card at all.
it's a really good card. And I always parlay Jason
That's
Jackson.
Friday night?
Thursday, I think. I think it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow? Shit.
Yeah. I always parlay Jason Jackson, but Thad Gene is such a monster on the feed. I've completely laid off. You know, I'm not in a hurry to rush, in a hurry to bet Thad Gene as an underdog. Like I think he's plus 180 or something, but I'm not touching Jason, which normally I do parlay him. I think Pregande should win, but it's pretty wide line. I think Jesus Pinedo like -2 something, pretty good value.
There you go. There's your plays of the card right there. Come on, Johnny. You should have been sold when you saw Usman fight our good friend Hamdi. Oh, Hamdi. Gotta love it. Cody KO or Barcelo sub-decision? I'd probably go sub-decision, but I just think this fight's going to go over. So maybe just look at the over. There you go. What's that at? -140? Over 2.5. That's not too bad.
Curious what Cody decision is, because that's what I would.
It's probably got to be like 250, 300, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 450. I think that's decent.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cody gonna lose because of his new gay tattoo.
What is it? The
one that's across his eye. Yeah, I forgot about that. Is Cody more experienced than Barcelo? Make sure Peyton Green, but Cody can stuff a takedown, maybe not by Figgy. I would say Cody maybe fought the better competition in his career, but I would say Barcelo's fought more. This is a good fight, though.
It's a good fight, and I like them both.
I do.
But the competition level that Cody's fought is, significantly higher than who Ione's fought, obviously. And I mean, that 80% takedown defense, I should have mentioned it. That's despite fighting all of the top division for like a decade, fighting roided out TJ Dillashaw and alpha male guys on all the sauce, still defending takedowns.
I just have a feeling, though. I think Cody's best days are behind. And I know Barcelos is definitely, but I just feel like this is such an even fight, though. You can make cases for both. There's 3 or 4 fights. I said it before, that you could just make cases for both guys to win this fight, and it's tough. You really got to coin flip it.
No doubt.
Hope for the best. I'm not going to bet it. The only thing I would bet is the over. I think it covers both bases. Yeah. I like Cody as well. That tattoo is rather lame, but he can win this. Yeah, I don't blame you. Look at Cody's new face tattoo of a sword going across his right eye. You tell me you believe this man's decision-making has improved over time. You can't. It's getting worse. Buyer beware. Make a good point. You make a good point. And Cody is a pirate. Yeah. Parlay. Is there a neck? Okay, Cody has a neck tattoo. I always like to do a neck tattoo parlay. I'm looking to see if there's any other neck tattoos.
I like that.
Maybe technically, maybe Jose. Other ones are they have chest tattoos, but not a neck tattoo. I don't know if he does, Jose. It's close. The very bottom of his neck, not the top.
Bellato's running out of space. He might need to move to the neck before too long.
Yeah, it's pretty close. He's got that Brazilian, Japanese, what do you call it? Gangster mafia tattoo, whatever. Akuza. That's what it's called. I'm what? I'm trying to get there. All right. We'll go to the next one here, though. Well, we got a couple more. PFL is a money laundering scheme. It will come out one day. I'm pretty sure it probably is. Kim Hun and John. Oh, is that the main event? Kim Hun and John for PFL?
No, it's Jason Jackson versus Thad Gene.
Okay. What is that on that fight on the same card? Or is that a different PFL card?
Maybe okay. Kim Hun is
Thad Gene or something, John?
Kim Hun's a big underdog. So maybe those are his 2 underdog plays.
Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought they were fighting each
Logan
other.
Storley. I think he's fighting Storley. He's fighting a really good wrestler.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking.
Like I said, I haven't even looked at the card at all.
Yeah, no one's going to watch it. PFL has the worst production. They'll show the crowd with nobody commentary,
in it,
no music for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the UFC won't even let guys talk after they get a round 1 KO because they got to hurry up and go show commercials. I'm like, PFL doesn't care about commercials. They'll just show the cage for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Barcelo won't catch Cody's
Oh,
chin. I may have to go for Cody now.
He's fighting Movlid Habuliev, who looked like shit last time out. But Movlid was on like a 2-year layoff. So I think we see a better Movlid this time out. But Kim is a stud. And we didn't parlay Movlid last time out because I thought he might lose. And he lost round 1 and then he kind of came on strong. So I'm a little low on Movlid. Kim is a stud. I think that Gene and Taekyung Kim both have a shot.
Yep. Next fight, Edmen Shabazian versus Andre Petroski. I believe it's your turn.
I think the draw at plus 6,600 on Bet Online is plus EV. Of course.
For this fight? The draw?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, hell yeah. Edmen 10-8 round 1 and then gets laid on for 2 rounds? Come on.
I mean, I could see that, but I think if Edmen
You're telling me my plus 66 prop is unlikely? Get out of here.
Well, I call me Mr. Logic, but sorry.
We all know Edmen. We all know how to bet Edmen fights. His opponent in round 3 is a must. It's an auto bet every fight. Doesn't matter. Just blind click it. Problem is, Petroski also has some pretty terrible cardio here. Obviously, Edmen could kill him in round 1, but I actually think the Petroski decision has some life. When I did my write-up, it was like plus 500. Money's coming in on it. Now it's like in the plus 3s, even on FanDuel. It was plus 500 on Bet Online. So I was hoping it might be like plus 700 on FanDuel because everyone would expect to finish in this fight, of course, but it's like plus 380 or something on FanDuel last I looked. I don't think Petroski is going to get a finish. I think Petroski's only way to win here is a decision. I think it is basically his money line. I think Edmen will have, he's got terrible cardio. Obviously, we all know that. But I think he'll have just enough cardio, enough durability, and plenty of jiu-jitsu to stay safe here, even if Petroski does get him down. My pick is, Edmen round 1 KO, but I'm not going to be heavy on it at all because, I don't think Petroski's stupid to strike with him. I think Petroski's going to try to smother him right off the bat. The Petroski decision is kind of like the only bet I really like here besides the draw.
Okay.
It's all sketchy. I mean, an incredibly sketchy fight. It's going to be a very fun fight. I think it's plus target in DFS because Petroski's either going to get torched or a ton of control time. So I think you want one of these guys in like the majority of your DFS lineups.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think we know how it's going to play out from both sides. It's just whether or not who you're going to pick and what bets you're going to do, because I think there's, Shabazian round 1 KO, almost an auto bet if you're on Edmen. Petroski lately has been by decision or play his takedown props for sure. But man, I am on the Petroski side. Nice. I think he gets it done. I can trust Petroski into doing something. And it's getting takedowns and getting on top and staying safe. And I think that's what he has to do. This is a perfect fight for him. Obviously, he has to be a little worried on the feet early. But when he goes for takedowns, he gets those takedowns. He's strong. Edmen's takedown defense is terrible. I actually think Petroski finds a submission eventually. I know he hasn't done it in a while. But if you're going to do it, this is the fight to do it. You can get Edmen down in every round. And then he might just give up after like the second or third time you get him down, which might be in round 3. The submission prop is plus 600, 650, depending on what book you're at. I like it. I like it a lot. I think Petroski gets it done, whether it's by decision one way or another or submission. But I think he just goes back to his wrestling days, and that's what he's going to have to do. He can't strike with Edmen. There's no way. Ain't no way. So, he's not a dumb fighter. And that's another thing, too. Like, he knows what he needs to do. For whatever reason, I think in one fight, he didn't shoot any takedowns. But I think that was against, it was his last fight, Rodolfo Vieira. But Rodolfo Vieira is very good on the mat. So it's actually kind of a good idea that he didn't do it because he was the better striker in that fight for sure. But every other fight, he went for takedowns and got takedowns. The only little red flag with him is he can get starched early. And then that fluke like hip knockout from Jacob Malkoun, I don't know. I still to this day don't even know what happened there. But I don't worry about that one. I know a lot of people still like, oh, he got fluke KO'd and that. I'm like, don't even worry. That's a one-off. But
I don't know. That thing still sticks in my mind.
I know, but I don't know. It does for me too. But I'm just like, how do you even gauge? Like, that's just never going to happen again.
Well, so I mean, if you look at who Petroski fought, Maximov, Wellington Turman, GM3, Josh Frem, Dylan Budka, Adolfo Vieira, guys that are never going to get a KO. Fought Michel Pereira, he gets KO'd.
Yeah,
gets KO'd
that was the good Michel Pereira.
Yeah, gets KO'd by Jacob Malkoun's hip.
That was a fluke. It happens.
Well, it doesn't happen to me. It doesn't happen. Like
we're not UFC fighters.
Out by taking somebody down. Like it doesn't happen. No, I don't think it's fair to say.
Either way,
it's never happened.
I don't care.
33 years.
Scratch it off the record. Call it a no contest. Give me Petroski to win by submission. I think he finds it.
I like that. I think Petroski's live here. But I just gotta playfully, you can't just say it happens. It's never happened.
It does happen. It's never happened before. At least I don't know, other than that one time.
I agree. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it does have some durability concerns for sure.
Yeah, I mean early, especially because Edmund's gonna be super alive early. I'll be sweating the first minute or two, but once Petroski gets a takedown, I will not be sweating the rest of that round. 100%.
I agree. Yep.
So that's the one thing I got to worry about if you're betting Edmund. Other than that, though, like I said, some people are going to look like geniuses. Some people are going to look like idiots in this fight. It's literally, I think it's Edmund round 1 KO or Petroski, either late finish or decision.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
That's it.
1,000,000%. Yep. Yeah, very binary fight. Should be a banger.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Unless Petroski just lays on him for 15 minutes, but
he's done that too much. I think this is the fight he has to get a finish because he's starting to get too boring. Yeah. He was close a couple times in, I guess, the Josh Frem fight, but I think he's just playing it way too safe. But this is like I said, this is the fight where Edmund has no grappling at all. Like, you go to town on this guy. At least Frem had some grappling. The other guy had some grappling too that he won. It wasn't Vieira, it was Budka, which that was a weird fight too. But yeah, he take him. That's all I'm worried about is takedowns. He can take somebody down. This is the fight. Love it.
Yeah, I agree.
Haymaker parlay bet. Petroski has comic book muscles. Yeah, doesn't happen to me. Yeah. Doesn't happen to me either. Hammer and sickle tattoo, get out of here. Edmund, send him to another dimension. Oh, it's just a tattoo. It's just a gay tattoo. It's all right. Just like Cody Garbrandt's. Co-main event: Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. This will be my most confident pick of the card. I'm going with Rose. No offense to Miranda Maverick. I think this is a massive step up in competition and a pretty big step down in competition for Rose. I know Miranda has fought at 125, but she's actually kind of a small flyweight, and Rose looks a little about the same. Like, she's gonna be taller for sure, but like, she looks fine against her. And Miranda's only chance here, I think, is she needs to get some wrestling going. But Rose has very good grappling. She can get submissions as well. She's going to be way better on the feet, way quicker. Obviously, we always want to say, you got to think, what's the mentality of Rose coming in? I don't think about that anymore. Rose has fought good. I know she's been losing a little bit more than what we are used to, but she's fighting the best of the best. She's fought Erin Blanchfield, Tracy Cortez, she won. Amanda Hebus, she won. She fought Manon Farrow, which was a very close fight. And then we get to the Carla Esparza, where that doesn't even count because I'm going to take that out of the records book. I don't never want to watch that fight again, and I never did. But yeah. You gotta take Rose here. I'm going to say by decision, but honestly, the sub prop kind of looks a little juicy because Miranda's going to be shooting some takedowns. There could be a chance for Rose to flip the script and take Miranda's back. Miranda has been out grappled before in some of her fights. So give me Rose to win, though. I think it's a pretty safe parlay piece for sure. What do you think?
I think you broke it down really well. I agree with all that. Really confident in Rose. I think Miranda's like she's always been very overrated by the public and by the sports books. She's always like minus 700, minus 300. When this fight first,
and barely looks like it too, because I've
oh,
sweat every time I bet her.
never looks like it. Never looks like it. Yeah, definitely agree with you. And I'm thinking that Rose decision. I think it's like minus 145.
That's a pretty much an easy play.
I think so.
But I that sub prop though has got me. I don't know. I keep looking at that.
I was also thinking about like a sub only or a finish only on Rose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any chance in the world Miranda finishes Rose.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So I like looking for those free rolls like that.
Fight ends by sub might be something interesting. Plus 600. Maybe if Miranda gets some weird position, and I mean, she can probably sub Rose if she gets in good position to do that. Yeah. I think that's the only way. Only way Miranda wins is by sub. That's it.
I could understand that thought, but I think I would say the only way she wins is by decision. I would think that I don't know. I mean, we're both seeing this fight the same way, and
yeah, I'm just trying to think of bets that aren't like super chalky.
Yeah. But
Rose submissions plus 1,200.
Yeah, I do like that, and also like I was thinking about the under on this fight. I think the over 2.5 was like minus 450, and I like betting overs, that, and I never bet unders. And I was going to say it on the Petrosky fight, like the best way to make a boring 15-minute, control fight really exciting is to bet the over, and then you're loving every second of it. So I never bet unders, but I was thinking that Rose is live for a finish, at those odds. So yeah, I like where your head's at.
Right on. Let's see. Tom says Thug Rose all day, every round. Oh yeah, you can look at the minus 3.5. What's that at? I forgot. Rose minus 3.5 is plus 110.
Interesting.
I kind of like that. At plus money?
I like that, yeah.
I think she can win every round for sure. At least one judge will give her every round. If it plays out the way in my head thinks. I'd be surprised if Rose drops this. Yeah, I'd be very surprised. Maverick is a lot smaller than the French girl, not big enough to bully Rose. I agree. Yep. Yeah, Maverick younger, bigger, muscle. I mean, she's younger, bigger. If you look at the face-offs, Rose is going to be taller. Like by like 3 inches, I believe. Let me look. 2 inches, but it's not that big of a like. Miranda's kind of small for flyweight. She's just really like kind of thicker body structure a little bit, so she might be a little bit stronger, but I don't think it's gonna be strong enough.
She's swole. She looks like she was stung by a million bees. And I think her grappling's really overrated. 3 fights ago against Andrea Lee, the consensus going in was that Lee would be the better kickboxer, Miranda would be the better grappler. Andrea Lee was like out scrambling and out grappling Miranda Maverick in that fight. Problem was Miranda was actually better than Andrea Lee on the feet.
Yeah, which is weird.
I think Miranda's grappling is really overrated.
Yeah, and she has 7 submissions too. That's the funny part.
Well, like, in the UFC, she can only submit Priscilla round 3, Sabina Mazo.
Yeah.
That's all.
Non-grapple, striker only fighters.
Yeah.
Like Rose, we know her as a striker, but she's got very good grappling.
In her very first fight, she got a KO, with that sick elbow that gashed open Liana Jujua's nose. But, got kicked out of the UFC very fast. Mazo, Cachoeira is cool, right? But not a grappler. I mean, yeah, I think
she gets subbed every time she's on the mat.
Yeah. I think Maverick has 0 finishing potential here.
Yeah. Close to 0, I will say. She has like a little bit of a chance if she can get the right, I don't know, fluky, like a Alexa Grasso Valentina sub. You know what I mean? Something crazy like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But why doesn't
she's fighting the girl that knocked out Zhang Wei Li,
That's true. Why doesn't anyone fear the Maverick? She's got good pickles. Buy some Prowler pickles. I heard she has some good pickles. My boy Kunith on Maverick. He's gonna be sweating.
God bless him. Move that line, baby. Move that line.
Go. Rose will stuff and avoid all of her takedowns and make it a kickboxing match, and that's how she wins. If that happens, then she'll definitely win a decision, 100%. And that -3.5 spread is going to look great at +110. The only time it might be a little risky is if this fight gets to the mat. Maybe. Rose said in interviews they have trained, or they have trains bar together. There was some content where someone dominated. Oh, trained together. I'm on Rose KO decision. Okay, levels. There is levels to this. I even put that in my breakdown on Patreon. I'm like, this is a levels fight, guys. Like, Rose is up here. Miranda's like way down here. Like, come on. I'm surprised Rose isn't like -400. I am shocked.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Rose bulked up also. Yeah, she started to fill in a little bit more at flyweight the last few fights for sure. Last fight, main event, Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. Who do you like?
You know, Usman's bigger here. Obviously a stud, even at 70%.
We were talking earlier.
Yeah. But I'm on Buckley to defend the takedowns, which Usman can't really get anymore.
I don't even know if Usman's going to shoot any takedowns.
Yeah, you might not. And then I think Buckley's going to win a decision here. I actually already bet the over 4.5. If I hadn't already done that, I'd probably parlay or I'd probably bet the Buckley decision prop. But I think I'll gently parlay Buckley. I get it that, we were just talking about levels, right? I don't want to be too overhyped on the up-and-comer Buckley. But I just, the way I visualize the fight, he's going to be far better and busier at distance. He is very undersized here, is kind of the only thing getting in my head. But I don't think, like, no matter who wins, I don't think we see a finish. I think it goes the distance. Can't say for sure, but, I'm going to say I think it goes the distance for sure.
Okay. I mean, Buckley's only going to be 2 inches shorter on paper.
It's just they were doing little stare downs the other day, and I was like, Jesus Christ, he's small.
Yeah, he is short. I like him better at welterweight. When he was at middleweight, no bueno. Like, he was very hit or miss, but he's looked like a wrecking ball once he fully went to welterweight. Like, he's won 6 in a row, I believe, at welterweight. Yeah, I'm going with Buckley as well. I'm going with the train, like the steamroll train that keeps on chugging. If Kamaru Usman was maybe at 85 to 90% of prime Usman, I would probably pick Usman.
For sure.
He's not even at 70. Like, he's got no knees, guys. He's got no knees. And yeah, he looked good against Chimaev, but he didn't do anything other than survive the first 2 rounds. And everyone's like, oh man, if this was a 5-round fight, he would have won the rest of the fight. Well, yeah, he would have, but he was dominated. Nobody saw him get dominated like that for those 2 rounds. And we all know Chimaev is a gasser. If he doesn't get you out of there in a round and a half, he gasses. Buckley is not that kind of fighter. I mean, he can slow down a little bit as the fight goes on, but man, I'll tell you what, him at welterweight's a different fighter altogether. A lot of the times that he gassed out that I remember, it was at middleweight, and especially in the 3rd round, he was just like kind of surviving in the 3rd round. But at welterweight, man, he's like like I said, different fighter altogether. He's more explosive. He can mix in some wrestling. I don't think he will, but he might later in the fight. I don't know. But I like Buckley. I think he's going to be landing the better shots. I think he's more explosive to be quicker on the feet. Can Usman, tag him early? Sure. I mean, but I think he's going to be too quick. So I don't know how he's going to win, though. It's tough to say Usman's going to lose by knockout because I think we only seen that happen once, and it was a head kick knockout in round 5. But yeah, I mean, decision seems like a good play, or the over 4.5. I think that's a good play too. Usman is super durable, so even with 70% and 0 knees, I think he's super durable. He proved it in the Chimaev fight. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I mean, besides the head kick knockout, it was ages ago. Last time he got finished, Usman's got incredible durability, declining wrestling. Buckley's got the better volume, better kicks. Buckley
More
decision,
explosive,
baby.
I think. I
Mhm.
think he's got more finishing upside, but I just don't think he's gonna be able to finish.
Mm.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. Should be a
Buckley
fun one.
decision. I was actually, I had like an absurdly risky parlay. It was like $100 to win 15 grand on
Oh,
the Covington Buckley card, and it was about to hit until Vitor Petrino lost, and then the last leg it needed was the Buckley Covington fight to go the distance, which it didn't. So the last two, but it
yeah.
had like fuck me, who's the English guy that I love? God, I want to say Daniel Craig. That's not it. God, I can't believe I'm blanking on him.
English guy.
He fought Ramon Tavares, Davy Grant. God, Daniel Craig, pretty
Oh,
close. Yeah. It
Davy
had
Grant.
Davy
Okay.
Grant by decision. It had like a bunch of props in there. It was absolutely crushing it. And then Petrino gets knocked out, and then the Florida judge is like, Colby's eye is gonna fall off. I thought Florida people were like tough. They got alligators and shit down there. Alligators are dinosaurs.
They
And
are legit dinosaurs.
and she was like, "Oh, Colby's eye is gonna fall off." So anyway, I was on Buckley to go the distance in that last fight, and the cut ruined that, but I think this one goes.
There we go. I like it. Love it. Rose Maverick is similar to Gamrot and Klein. Maybe not on paper, but I think it might end up being like this. That how the fight looked. Yes. On paper, I still think it's like Gamrot versus, I don't know, Luigi, whatever his name is. I can't think of a mid-tier lightweight right now. When was the last fight we saw Usman actually try to wrestle? That's was it the second Leon fight?
Yeah, every Leon fight, he got 4 takedowns in the split decision loss.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't look good. I mean, he got it done, but he Leon kept getting back up, so it wasn't like he was doing anything crazy. So
Yeah,
those knees can't handle like
he
more.
He tried a million takedowns that fight to get.
He needed to. That's the reason. But yeah, those knees are gone. Going from Chimaev to Buckley, I feel so different. Oh yeah, well, different fighter though, different fight altogether.
I get that, and if that Hamzat fight was 5 rounds, Kamara probably wins.
Oh yeah, because Chimaev just he doesn't have cardio,
and that was short notice at middleweight against a huge guy, right? Like, I mean, I could definitely understand why folks would think that this line is off, or think that Usman's good value, and can't argue too hard. It's just when I visualize the fight, I think Buckley's going to piece him up a distance.
Yeah.
But absolute banger. Fan of both these guys. Should be good.
Yep. I missed the Rose Edmund breakdowns. Who do we pick? I picked Rose and Petrosky.
I picked Rose, and I'm picking Edmund, but I said that I've been all week saying that Petrosky decision is super, super good odds.
Buckley by decision or KO. I like that too. We all picked Rose. Everyone is saying Usman's knees are shot. He gets cortisone shots every month, etc. Might matter. Is Buckley that bad? I still think Usman has no knees. I don't care if he gets cortisone shots. I don't think Buckley's bad at all. I don't think he's a champion. I'll say that. But I think he's top 10. Maybe 15 for sure. But
depends on the matchup. I think him versus
JDM depend on the matchup. Yeah,
him versus JDM would be a pretty fun fight.
It would.
So who knows? What
is he even ranked at? Is he 4th or something? Or what is he? I don't even know.
Is the number 4 welterweight worldwide on Tapology. I don't know what his UFC ranking is though.
He's got to be in the top 10, right?
Yeah, he is.
Because Usman's in the top 10 still somehow.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Welterweight. Usman's 5. Buckley is 7. Yeah, I don't think
Buckley. The UFC rankings have Sean O'Malley as the number 1 ranked bantamweight coming off 2 straight losses. It's just a fucking circus. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like there's no credibility to UFC rankings.
I know. I mean, Buckley versus Bilal would be a fun fight. I think he could potentially win that fight. He can potentially beat Edwards.
Oh, yeah, he'd kick the shit out of Edwards, in my opinion. Yeah.
But honestly, that might be about it. Maybe Jack, maybe, but I don't think he's going to be going anything more than that. So he's probably top 5 at best.
Yeah, Gary
Probably
would
a
be a fight
5.
for him. I think Shavkat. I like Shavkat a lot, but I think Shavkat's a little overrated. I think
I want to see him in his next fight, and then we'll see if I think he's overrated or not.
I think Sean Brady is going to be the champ before too long here, and I'm not even like a Brady fan.
I'd be shocked if he is, but I could see it though. If he fights, but what if Islam comes over? Then
that's the variable. Yeah,
we got to deal with that again. Buckley has had an awakening. Expect leg kicks to hurt Usman, and then Buckley will move in for the finish. There you go. I like that. Buckley in his prime right now. Agreed. Tyler the Creator for the win. Holland licking his lips just to fight Buckley again. No joke. Yeah, well, he's going to have to actually work his way up and stay at welterweight. He's on a little roll now, but I want to see a little bit more. We got Pick'em in here. What's up, Pick'em? 2 goats. Appreciate you coming out. Rem Dog, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming out as well. What if Buckley gets another spinning back kick KO? That'd be wild. By oblique kick? That'd be wild as well. I mean, he's got no knees, so game over. What's up, Buckley in 3? I could see a later Buckley finish, like 3 or 4, around 3 or 4. That's what if there was a Buckley finish. That's what I think. But Buckley decision. I think it's decision though. If I had to choose. Split. I only have one book that's split. I'm not even kidding. I don't know about the split though. I think if it goes decision, probably Buckley wins pretty clear.
I wonder, there might be some Georgia judges that don't know what the hell they're watching.
Yep.
You know, of course, most of the judges are the typical judges we all know and see every single week, but they've always got a couple sprinkled in that are just like some random dude from Savannah.
True.
So, who knows? I do like looking at splits in these geographies where UFC isn't at very often.
Yeah. I got Thomas. What's up, Thomas? I got Buckley by KO. Okay. Rob can get a sub, but camera can't. We don't speak camera's name anymore. Okay. I don't know what that means. Salty still. Cameras. Am I missing something on that one?
So I am too.
Gamrot. Oh. Okay. Maybe his autocorrect is going crazy. Oh, Lee Gatesman. We got Lee Gatesman in the house. John, ring control. It's all about ring control. If you want to win fights, it's all about ring control. Lee will tell you it's all about ring control. That's his motto. Ring control or nothing. Ring control or bust. Buckley is the best. Buckley 2-3 KO. Had some rando in Spivak Waldo. Okay, Buckley. I like all those. Yeah.
He's talking about a judge, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was Waldo did not win 30-27, but he won the fight. Just not 30-27. But all right, we have come to the fun part of the show where we're going to do the easy money parlay, and then we're going to do our beer money parlay. It's a little fun. I think we're both going to be on Simon or Simone.
Yeah, we typically like to do these on FanDuel or DraftKings, and Ricky's not available, so we could look at Bet Online or something because I would love to play Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, Bet365 has them at -450, so I'm okay with that. I think that's a pretty easy leg, so we'll have to look for something about minus what, like 175 or so.
Yeah, I mean, I know you don't like it to be 5 legs or something wild, but I think maybe we could toy with putting in like Horth and Mansoor, and then like Rose. That parlay is hitting +123 on Bet Online.
I mean, we could just do Rose, Horth, and Simone, and that's at +102. Just 3 legs.
I like it. I'm down for that.
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna look and see if I see anything else crazy. Did we like some overs that we were both pretty high on?
Yeah, you thinking for like the beer money or doing like a fight to start round 2 and
just for the easy money if we were really high on one.
To me, the overs that we liked were like risky overs.
Okay.
Like
we
plus money overs.
Okay. Let's do that one. I feel comfortable with that. Unless you want, what else is that?
I mean, we could look at like Namajunas versus.
I almost want to put like Rose minus 3.5 in like our beer money. Plus 110. That's an easy like leg right there.
That's interesting that it's a little better than the Rose decision, minus 145. Trying to decide like what's more likely,
She could win. She
Maverick
can win
a round, or Rose to get a finish.
I mean, she can. It had to be around on all 3 cards, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for folks that don't understand the spreads, because they're a little tricky, if you're on like the plus 7.5, they just need to win 1 round on 1 judge's card. Plus 5.5, they have to win 1 round on 2 judges' cards. And plus 3.5, they need to win, like a full round. They need to win a round on all 3 judges' cards. I got like I've done some really nice minus 7.5s this year and stuff. I think it was like Deanna Barbosa was minus 1100. I did her minus 7.5, and I brought it down to like minus 2 something. Those are good to look at, but just make sure you know like what you're betting.
Yeah,
because some folks, they're a little tricky to understand, but I hope that description was helpful. I'm down for the Rose minus 3.5, but
what do you think about the over 2.5 in the Cody Garbrandt fight? Are you feeling that risky for the easy money part?
The easy money, I think the easy money that we got is hidden.
Okay. So we got Horth, we got Simone, and Rose.
That's cashing.
Yeah, I agree. We'll go with 3. I don't love going with 3, but I think this is a good one for 3 though.
Sounds good. The thing is hitting. We're running it back, and now it's time to run it back on the beer money.
This is gonna be the one where we're gonna make all of the money. This will be the easy money parlay. And what are you thinking? Like I said, I kind of like the Rose plus 110 if you want to do that, or if you want to be a little safer, Rose decision. We could do 3 legs for this one. I think the 3 legs have been working out better for this bet instead of like getting 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, minus 3.5. Yeah, it's tough just without all the props out.
I know it's like half.
Like Buckley decision.
What is Buckley decision?
Plus 180 on DraftKings. I think it's like plus 200 on FanDuel. I'm looking now.
Plus 175 on Bet 365.
Buckley
plus 180 on Draft. Cool.
Plus 230 on DraftKings, which is pretty nice.
For what?
Buckley decision.
Plus 230?
Yeah. They always have better odds on props.
Oh, I see plus 180.
Buckley by points on FanDuel.
Oh, on FanDuel. Oh, okay.
I might have misspoke. Sorry.
Gotcha. Oh, shit. Plus 230. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think
that's like 50 cents different.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with throwing that in there. So then we could do kind of like 2 safer ones.
Damn. Yeah, like they don't have all the props out yet. I was thinking like those like Buckley points, Rose points, and Wellmaker KO, I think would get us pretty close. Maybe only like plus 700.
What about Mansur KO? That's super safe.
I imagine it's like minus 3 something.
Yeah, it's minus 350 on DraftKings, but I'm sure it's a little bit better.
Minus 310. I mean, but it's a freaking lock. But I think let's stay off. We got to find one more. Like, if we find one more plus 100, we're there. We
could do Rose minus 3.5.
Well, and the one I'm working on FanDuel is 2 legs plus 457 so far. It's Rose points and Buckley points. I do like the -3.5, but then the rest of the legs that we choose are going to be worse odds than FanDuel. But DraftKings has more props out, so
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that confident in Angelusa. I kind of thought he'd be an underdog.
If I do anything with him, it would be like by decision. I think that's +110 or so.
Yeah, I like that. And that would get us there if that prop was out.
It's out on Bet365. Let me see. So if we did if you wanted to do Angelusa by decision, where are we at? +110. And then if we did Rose, we'll just put 3.5, and then Buckley, or -3.5. Buckley, that'll be 11-12 plus 11-12. It's kind of like a decision parlay almost. Angelusa by points, Rose -3.5, and then Buckley by points.
I'm not like so in love with Ange, you know.
Okay, we don't have to.
Yeah, it's tough.
I just think that's how he wins.
I think
if we were going to go that route,
I think that's how he wins for sure. You're right. I'm tempted to just go with you on Petrosky. Petrosky money line, and then Buckley and Rose by points is +13-16. Only 3 legs. Pretty darn good chance of hitting.
We can even do Petrosky +3.5 just in case.
I don't think
that's +125.
The thing is, I don't think
Edmund's probably not going to win
decision equity, right?
Yeah. What about the over in the Paul Craig fight? Over 1.5. I mean, it's 979 on Bet365. Wait, FanDuel doesn't have the -3.5 spread, do they?
Nah. They have been getting more props out, but they come out super late in the week. But now they've got strike props, some good stuff. We parlayed up Jacoby to have the most significant strikes last week.
Yeah. Let me see what it would be on DraftKings.
Parlayed up Holland to have the most significant strikes this most recent week. Yeah, I've been loving those.
It's close to +1,000, but if we did Rose -3.5 over 1.5 in the Craig fight, and then Buckley decision, it's about like 950 or a little bit higher. It's not to 1,000 though on both books.
Pop in Mansour,
I'm okay with 3. I mean, I'm okay with that. We don't have to get to +1,000, but it's fun. But I don't care. Honestly, I probably win more bets just being a little bit safer, to be honest. Like, it doesn't have to get to +1,000. It's like 800 and it hits instead of trying to be a little bit more aggressive.
Wiser words have never been spoken.
Well, if we want to go that route, let me see what Rose by decision is, just to be safe. Rose decision. So it'd be 692 range if we did that instead of the -3.5. Man, I like the -3.5 though. I think I think it's good. What do you think? I think we're set on 2. What do you think the third one should be? I'm throwing it.
I honestly,
you like Petrosky more?
Not that much. I would rather pop in like Mansour and Horth. You want
to do 5 legs?
Bro,
like just money lines? We already got Horth money line. You are insane. You are a parlay master. So you don't want to do this over 1.5?
I don't hate it. Yeah,
I know we were talking about it. We both.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I like it a lot. Like I like that prop. It's just is it parlayable is the question, right?
Well, none of these really should be parlayable. Let's be honest.
Well, I think Buckley and Rose win decisions. And I think the Bellato fight could go over, right? But like, yeah, I mean, I kind of like that as like I thought it was plus money, like the
yeah, it's minus 115 at best. I saw. It was like a pick 'em. Do you want to try the well maker over 1.5? Sketchy about that one. That's plus money, plus 135.
Yeah, like I kind of want to bet that one straight. I mean, I think you should pop Ricky Simone, Horth, and Mansour in there, and that thing's hitting. And we're going to give out 2 winners for the second straight show together, and we don't have to, try too hard on forcing an over or a big underdog.
Man. We just need one more leg. One more leg. We're going to find it.
Does that book have unders on takedowns?
DraftKings does.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're out yet.
They might not yet.
No, they're not out yet. No.
Yeah. But some unders on takedowns from guys that are not going to go for takedowns at all is like such an underutilized approach. But yeah, they come out late in the week. Oh, I was thinking of some voidable legs as well. Like I mentioned some earlier. What was one? Like Bellato decision only. That might be a good way to juice it up. And then it could void. It's likely to void if Paul Craig gets starched. But maybe some free rolls in there.
Yeah.
Bellato decision only is a good one. Trying to think of other people who could like get a submission when their opponent definitely cannot. I guess like the main event comes to mind. I don't think there's any chance in the world that Buckley gets a submission, but Kamaru could maybe once in a million years, but that's just probably going to void. But like the Bellato decision only, I think has a decent chance. And then worst case scenario, it voids and you lose a tiny bit of value, but
I think we should do. We got 3 options. I think
we could do
Ange Lusa decision. We're both on Lusa. We both think he's going to win by decision. I think it can work. The over 1.5 in the Craig fight. We both like it. We don't know if it's going to hit, but we both like it. Or something else. Those are my 2. I lied.
And then with the Rose and Buckley.
Yeah. So Rose and Buckley are for sure's.
Yeah.
I'm leaning Lusa by decision. We both like Lusa. We both think that's how he wins.
You know what? Last time I was a little apprehensive on the Mikhail Oleksiejczuk KO, and you were like, "I like it," and I was like, "All right, let's ride," and it hit. So let's. I'll trust you.
I have a weird feeling it's gonna hit.
Let's do it. Let's do the Lusa.
If he gets a KO, I'm gonna be mad, but it is what it is.
No, I don't think that's happening. I like it. That thing's hitting too.
All right, let's go see what that one is. It's plus 110 if I can find it. All right, there it is. 11-12 at best.
4 digits. We did it. It's hitting.
We got 2 Rose bets, but you know what? I'm okay because it's my most confident pick. So
she's gonna come through.
All right, there it is. That's our beer money parlay of the week, and both of them will hit because we are due, and that's what happened last time. We were due, and we hit, and we're gonna go on a run. That's how it works for betting. You get cold, and then all of a sudden you just get hot. But we appreciate everyone hanging out with us for about 2 hours. Hopefully we gave you some good insight, some good plays that you could potentially use, parlay up, all that good stuff. But before we get going, let everybody know where they can find you and what you got going on.
Yeah, right on. It's a pleasure being here. Thanks to the chat. You guys stuck around this whole time and we're giving great insight and great thoughts and some comedy. It's a blast on this show every single time. So thanks for having me, Johnny. You can find me on Instagram for UFC Bet Picks. We create the graphic, for people to make their fight picks on. Usually got some pretty goddamn good picks. I won't pat myself on the back, too much or anything, but I track the top 24 experts in my mind, and Johnny and I were the top experts of last week. And
it's been a while, but I got it. Did we both get rubies or no?
Yeah, in that scenario, we both get a ruby. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, appreciate y'all. And I try to keep it positive, try to keep it light, try to spread love. So hopefully some of you are already following on Instagram. Thank you. If so, if not, that's where to find me.
Yep. Yeah, the link is below in the description. So go check him out. Go give him a follow on Instagram. Check out his Patreon, all that good stuff. And again, appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll see you next week for UFC. Is it Baku? How do you say it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I don't even know how to say it. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong because I cannot pronounce any name correctly. So it's Baku in my mind. So we'll see you next week. Good luck with your picks. Good luck with your bets. And have a good night.